You are now tuned in to the excellence of execution, welcoming Paul, DF, and your co-host, Marley.
We are back. You two have spent a lot more time than I was able to spend time with Varan, so he's really a long-time friend.
Are you like upset about it?
Not at all. No. Me and Varan.
There sounds like there could be a tad of jealousy over there.
No, because normally when I do the intros, it's like long-time friend and known each other. So this one's like one of your, you guys connected in Austin, I think. Was that the first time?
Correct.
Yeah.
Austin, Texas.
But we connected on the Zoom calls at DLC many times.
That's right.
Oh, that's right.
Many
and
Zoom calls.
actually, if we actually go back, Varan was part of the OGs of HSBC, so I met him first.
Yeah. Perfect. we prefer that anyways.
No, we don't.
Yes.
No, we don't.
Great.
That was a fun time though. That was during
COVID.
That was during COVID. Yeah. And that's all we had. I look forward to those Friday calls.
I'm gonna leave now.
No. We're not going in.
Sorry.
You're not holding a candle here. But that's all we got to get up and get dressed for and do that. That was fun.
5 of us.
So Paul, you know how everybody wore suits and then like shorts or boxers? Yeah. Paul put a full suit on every time. He needed it. It made him feel better.
It did.
Made him to feel well.
In my room.
In your bedroom.
They used to make fun of my hair.
Peloton
was there.
Peloton. TV on the wall.
That was tough because the kids were all home. Yeah. And downstairs we heard each other.
Every day. I go to the office every day.
Well, you would still go into the office? Dan, you were still going to the office
every day.
Yeah.
Every day, yeah. That was like a special moment for me because I didn't get to experience like COVID the way the rest of the world did because I was going to work every day.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah,
you were lucky.
I find myself very lucky. Yeah.
And just to backtrack, what we were on was we were part of a committee. I think there was 5 or 6 brokers or broker owners that were on it to bring HSBC to the channel. Yeah, so that was back in 2019, I think we started.
I think 2020.
Right? 2020, yeah. I think, November 29 or end beginning, yeah. So that was the
just
beginning.
During the COVID.
Just right during COVID, yeah. So
crazy what we went through. Just to think back for a second.
It's crazy. It's crazy like how they launched the new bank during the COVID.
Yeah,
and they did, and it was all through Zoom. Never really met anyone.
It changed the whole perception, and the broker community. Everything's done virtually now, and people are not as afraid anymore. Which is great. It's great for us, right?
I think it really pushed the banks to on the IT side as well, because everything was wet signature before. And now they moved to DocuSign and stuff like that too.
Remember, right? Scotiabank, you need a wet signatures on the platform.
Yeah, you still do.
Still do. Great.
Scotiabank's the best.
The best.
One of the best. Anyways, I don't want to. For any other listeners from the other banks, we don't want to discriminate. We love all banks.
The most important thing, Paul.
Yes.
You met Varan first.
No, that's not what's the most important thing.
Just so everybody understands.
In person, you met him first, okay? You win. So, Varan, Managing Director, iConnect, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, boys.
He's an expert because he does podcasts now himself.
Yeah, but no, unnamed podcast.
An unnamed podcast.
You know what? I learned something today. I need to come up with a name.
You definitely need to come up with a name.
How do you, what made you decide to start doing it? What was the reasoning behind it?
I felt like it's the best way to give a knowledge to the clients and the COIs.
Yeah.
So I started bringing the partners who I work with, lawyers, accountants, Equifax, home inspectors. So it's always, we know the knowledge. It's better to get the knowledge from the trusted advisors. Right. I don't want to talk about write-off on the rental properties. I'm not a CA.
Yeah.
I'd rather bring a CA I work with to talk about it, so it's give the confidence and I can share the knowledge as well.
Do you find that your agents in the office listen to it and gain experience or knowledge to it as well? Or
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely, yeah.
Like when someone starts, I know when agents come through here, we tell them to listen through, and it helps them just know who we are and just to gain some knowledge.
Yeah, so they listen to that. Also COIs as well, right?
That's right.
So I think it's the best way to get the knowledge out.
It's good for the brand.
Good for the brand, yeah.
So before we dive into business, when I was asking you when we were firming this up, you were at the Benfica soccer game.
Correct.
How was that?
It was amazing. My kids, they love soccer.
Yeah.
Football.
As they say it properly, yeah.
Honestly, it was a great experience. I was able to take them to the actual real football game.
Yeah.
It's about 65,000 people in the game.
That's incredible.
You know what the most thing is admired me is in Portugal, they actually go and enjoy the game.
They do.
No alcohol inside the stadium.
No way.
No beer.
Well, that's interesting.
Isn't that no, that's not. That was the World Cup.
Yeah.
That was the World Cup.
In the World Cup because where it was. Right. But so in Portugal there's no alcohol.
No alcohol. So you can go have fun, you can grab a beer, you can have a hot dog, whatever it is, but when you enter the stadium, no drinks, no alcohol.
So like around the perimeter there's the food and the drinks.
Food truck, yeah, outside.
Same in Italy?
Italy you can have alcohol. When I went to Juventus, you were able to get beers, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, that shows like truly they enjoy the sport.
Wow.
Not to go and socialize at the
And
lounges.
they tied 1-1 that game. I think
Is a Benfica, and I don't remember who.
Al Rayo or something.
It's
like
5-0.
that. Yeah. It was 5-0.
5-0.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, wow.
Yeah. 5-0.
Did the kids enjoy it?
Oh, they allowed it.
Yeah.
So you get to celebrate goals and see that.
That's so much fun.
How are the
man.
chants? And it's a totally different environment,
Totally
right?
different
Paul,
environment.
give us a chant. Just
In
break it.
Portuguese?
No, in whatever. Your team's chant. I need to hear it right now.
No,
Go
I
ahead.
can't on
You
the
want me to-
spot.
what do you want me to? Just go ahead. Just tell me the beat. I'll do it for you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I can't really think of one.
Are you going to the Miami game in October?
Miami.
Yeah,
who?
at TFC.
TFC. I'm not going to that.
Okay.
You're going to go?
My kids want to see
Messi's not going to
Messi.
play.
He's not going to play?
Probably not.
Why
Or
not?
not? What after what happened in Montreal, I guess, right?
What happened in Montreal?
I don't know. What happened?
People are
Like-
cheering for Messi not to Montreal, like in their own
Oh, yeah. It felt like a home game for
home,
Inter Miami.
home game
yeah.
for Miami.
I think he may not play here, potentially depending on where they are in the standings. But it's a portion turf, not real grass. And
Okay, so he wants a real grass.
Messi's very particular about playing on real grass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense though.
I wish
Yeah,
someone
because you
told
really
me
hurt
before I
yourself,
bought the
right?
tickets.
No, hopefully he plays because Toronto's a market that really wants to see him.
Yeah.
So hopefully he plays. We'll see. But that's
Maybe
In
they should
October.
invest in some grass.
it used to be all turf. They moved it to like 90% grass and some of it's turf. But yeah, I've heard just some players don't like playing here.
Yeah, because you're probably more prone to injury.
You are. But you love TFC games.
I do. I'm a big fan. It's always fun to get out. You know, nice day, watch some good football.
They're good this year now. The years we've gone, haven't been good.
I'm there for the experience, not so much for the sport. You know.
Yeah, that's true. So
Starting next year, no more beer inside.
Excellent. I don't drink.
is that
beer.
true?
I don't-
Oh, you made it up.
I don't drink beer.
No, I don't
anyways.
drink beer either. Yeah, in TFC it gets rowdy. They just played Montreal.
In Toronto?
It's a derby in
That was the
Toronto.
last weekend, I guess.
Yeah, and they go at each other, man.
Really?
But
But I find
they
that
attack each other.
that's soccer. That's football culture.
Yeah, I know, but on Netflix they just released the final attack on Wembley. I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch it yet. I watched it. Anyways, Italy played England in the finals, and a whole bunch of England fans raided the stadium. They actually broke through security, went in. It was a whole crazy thing. Italians got lost in the whole scene. And the whole part of the hooliganism, I've never been a fan of. Like, when Rome plays Lazio, like, people die. Like, they'll shoot you.
So,
They take it to the next level.
You can't wear an opposition jersey.
dude,
Like,
I didn't even know there were sections
There are
for
sections.
teams. Like, and
That's
if you
right.
get placed in the wrong section,
oh, you're in trouble.
I didn't know that.
You can't wear a
That's
jersey.
crazy.
Like, when I went to watch Juventus and Milan, there was and you not only are you sectioned, like, it's glass partitions.
No.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah.
Bulletproof.
Certain areas. Yeah.
People
you have
get
to be.
listen. People get passionate about the sport that they love and
Yep.
the team that
I
they
know,
love, and
but there's
everybody.
only
But I agree, that's too far.
Yep. And you have to be. You
I
have to
didn't
go,
even know that.
You have to be ushered into the stadium an hour early, and you can't leave until the stadium's complete. If you're a visitor, a visiting fan, that's serious, man. It's for real. So
It's like a jail.
yeah, literally.
It's like you're putting your life at risk going to watch a football match.
And in places that aren't that secure, like Brazil, I don't know if you see, like they're fighting in the states. It's nuts. It's wild. Anyways, I know we digress, but that's a really cool experience for you. Like, have you watched anywhere else, or is Portugal the first kind of?
Portugal's the first one, a real game.
And why'd you choose Portugal?
Football, wine, beer, and then seafood. Good spot.
Have you
And,
been to
and good
Portugal?
people. And good
I
people.
haven't been to Portugal yet. I do want to go.
I'm hearing some phenomenal things about a lot of investment going out there from North Americans.
Yeah, it's becoming
Yeah,
like, I think,
so-
I don't think so they have it anymore. Prior to last year, if you buy a house for 350,000, you get a golden visa.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know the full detail of it, but they were attracting a lot of.
And they probably
investors.
got what they needed from it, right? Italy now is paying people to come and live there.
Come
Because
on.
people are leaving.
Like Italians or anyone?
Anybody,
Anyone.
as long as you go there and live
Okay.
for 3 years, and if you open up a small business, I think they give you a little bit more.
Yeah.
They're giving you like an allowance?
They're giving you like 60,000 euros. Or
Come on.
Yeah. And I think the house is for free.
Wow.
But you're not getting like you got to put some work into it, obviously, right? Or there's some stuff, but they want to bring people back. Europe really wants to, especially in these small towns where
People are leaving.
people are leaving, right?
You got to bring infrastructure.
You have
if you
to.
want people, you got to bring infrastructure.
and they're finding ways. So.
The one thing I find in Portugal is same housing crisis. So they're bringing immigrants, not enough houses.
Right.
They're going to the rents are going off the roof.
Wow.
So people are sharing
Yeah.
apartments.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? I heard the food's very affordable, but that's definitely a place I want to go.
Very affordable.
Me too.
Definitely want
Me
to
too. Me
place
too.
It's cheaper to buy beer than buying a Coke.
No way.
For real.
Well,
Beer
plus
is
it's made
150
in-house.
euro and Coca-Cola is 3 euros.
Wow.
So next time I'm going to feed my kids beer.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, they're almost.
That's
I
an
mean,
option.
your 11-year-old's getting there, so
yeah, he
it's
can
close.
get through. Yeah.
Thank God you're a big beer guy. You can go and have
I
as much
hate,
beer.
I hate beer, but we'll see. We will
Hate's a
see.
strong word, Paul.
You're right. I
Dislike beer.
dislike beer.
Because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Tomorrow you might wake up and say, I want a cold cup of beer
Right.
on a hot, sunny
Anyways,
day.
let's dive into it. So, Varan, you started at CIBC. We haven't had too many guests that came.
Actually, TD.
TD, that's right. We both worked at TD. You started TD and then moved to CIBC.
I was a financial advisor at TD.
Financial advisor TD. You moved over to CIBC as an MMS originally.
MMS, MA, mortgage advisor.
Mortgage advisor. And then you got promoted to area sales manager.
Correct.
Was that a common thing to promote MAs to sales managers or not really?
So the leader we had at the time, she wanted to promote the top producing mortgage advisors to be area sales managers, so they
Interesting.
understand the business.
Interesting.
Which I find is very important because you cannot coach team if you don't know the
If you didn't do the
business
job, right.
So that's how the transition happened back in 2013.
Interesting. I guess,
Yeah, but like from an... Sorry,
go ahead. No.
But from an income standpoint, you're taking a severe cut if you're a top
Pretty good.
producing MA to go and then manage a team. You got to really be passionate about being a leader.
Correct. It was a big pay cut for the first,
That's what I was going to say, right?
but CIBC had a very lucrative compensation plan. Like
Got
they give an override
For
area
Sales-
sales manager
got
if you
it.
can meet the
If
target.
you can meet the targets.
But I was able to build a strong team in about 2 years.
Good for
So I
you.
was able to kind of rescope it. But also that give a lot of experience being a sales manager as well, right?
So did you end up leading the team that you were on?
Yeah.
And how did people go from being a peer to you're now their manager?
It was challenging. Some people were very welcoming and
Yeah.
some people didn't like it. It's,
Right.
that's a tough move. That's a
and I
tough
was the
move.
youngest person. So when I started at CIBC, I was 24.
Wow.
Or 24, 24, 25. And I was the youngest. I was the newest. It was an existing team.
Yeah.
And I had to manage people who trained me.
You're right.
I had to manage people
Right.
who helped me to put the deal together. I don't know, you remember the file logics those days?
Yeah.
So CIBC was working on file logics. So I had to be managed and I had to fire the people who trained me. So it wasn't easy.
Good times.
It's a good times.
That
Good
sounds
times.
brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really tough.
Well, you had some challenges as well.
I did, yeah. Again, that's why I felt this pain when I became a sales manager, but I never trained. Those people never trained me originally. That's even harder because now they see you take a step up and you're there.
Yeah, but there was that age.
there was
sort
age,
of
people were double my age.
discriminatory age behaviors.
Absolutely, yeah. On the team, you always do that.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them were very welcome. They worked with me. They supported me. So it was a good experience.
How'd you win them over? Did you find? I know that wasn't one of the questions I sent you, but like, how did you find you won those people over? Like maybe some of the ones that weren't as receptive at the beginning when you went to go be the sales manager.
I was just supporting them.
Yeah.
I'm here to do a job. I'm here to help them to grow their business and do what right for the bank and what right for the MAs. So I was doing my job, and they understand that.
Yeah.
And also, it's in the beginning, everything is very heated up. But once you know you're not ready, you're not there to get them, and you're here to support them, things changes.
Yeah, they turn around. That's very cool.
They turn around.
I think it's a really interesting lens that you two have managing people. I think it gives a different perspective now for somebody who, like yourself, who's in the business, to see how a group of high-level mortgage specialists or mortgage advisors are working. My question to you is, if you were to pinpoint one attribute that unilaterally was across your team that made them successful, what would that attribute be?
I would say one of them who made successful is they focus on building relationship rather than looking for a deal. Even for myself, I was able to transition over because I had relationship build up. I had a conversation with a friend of mine. He works for the bank and he wants to ask me advice. I'm like, I see you every single time when you're talking to me, you are chasing a deal.
That's right.
Nurture the relationship.
I love that.
I agree.
I think in life,
relationship.
that's a great lesson. You know?
Definitely.
And be genuine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. People read through bullshit.
Yeah.
Right?
So if
Beep,
you
beep.
if you honestly
It's not
want
a bad
to,
word, is it? Is that a bad word? We got to beep that one
you
out.
said the S word.
I know. I don't
It's
think
tough.
That's that bad. I've heard
That's-
worse words.
that's
Sorry,
tough.
Varan.
That's
no, it's
tough.
okay.
We got a lot of banter here, man. Just
I think what happens, like I think every mortgage specialist, mortgage brokers, mortgage agent, we all are chasing deals,
yeah.
not focusing on relationship.
I agree.
I think if you genuinely build a relationship, the prospecting will become easier.
Yeah.
you like to go and have a beer or like a coffee or lunch with the realtor or any COIs if you truly enjoy the relationship. If you're looking at a deal, you're going to hate prospecting.
So I guess that makes sense. So you went from individual contributor, getting deals, right? Then you go to an area sales manager. Now you're leading people, something that you're passionate about.
Totally leaving behind
the deals that you were doing.
Yeah.
And then you now make the move to go open up a brokerage where you could do both.
Yeah.
Hybrid.
Where you can lead people, build people, still share those skills, but also you're not leaving deals on the table or handing them off to people, because that is also very lucrative, and that's something that you enjoyed thoroughly, right?
So then when I became an area sales manager, I realized that I was missing the part of being connected. Also the money as well. I'm not going to lie about the money.
Absolutely.
And so at the team, being an area sales manager, you cannot do both.
That's right.
But being a broker owner, you can do both.
That's right.
So that's one of the reasons for the transition, and also the taxes. Also, you're building your own book of business, own brand.
Tons of benefits, I think.
Tons of benefits.
Yeah, like so many benefits. But I think the key thing for me is to understand how important the bank days are. Because without that foundational build of trust and knowledge is not there. And I think that time is certainly not wasted. And
Absolutely not.
In fact, I urge people to take that step first.
So I know one of the questions was, what advice would you give someone that's looking to like leave the bank and go broker? For you actually left a sales manager role similar to me, which is, you were fully commissioned. Then you went into kind of a hybrid salary commission. And now you're leaving that all behind, which was, again, very lucrative to say, I'm going to go bet on myself again. You already had a book of business, but now you haven't really serviced them for, how long were you sales manager for?
Almost 4 years.
So 4 years you're not servicing these clients, and you're saying, I'm going to go back and I'm going to win them all back. How did you
with a family, right?
With a family, I think it comes down to, Paul, is a relationship. So I always maintain the relationship, and that's why I was confident that I was able to go back and rebuild the business back.
Good for you, man.
So you call them back after 4 years, or you've always kept in touch
with them? I always in touch
right?
with them, right? Like my team was taking care of my COI, so it's not like I never lost in touch.
So now it's just like, I'm back. I'm your man again. Resend to me. And obviously your book has continued to grow. I saw all the awards that you've continued to win as a brokerage as well as a broker. So what would you share with let's say, your agents that are starting, or our agents, like for someone that's newer, that's coming over, I know relationships is key. Don't chase a deal, focus on relationships. Brilliant. Was there anything else that helped you build your book of business? Like how did you win a new realtor, or how did you win the hearts of clients referring over to you maybe?
I think you need to have a system in place. I think that's why you guys have a system in place, right? There's tons of mortgage agents. And as a realtor, they don't understand what's the difference between an agent from iConnect or Clear Trust or somewhere else. Right. Because not every, like me and Dan, we just talk about while we are here, no one have direct access to the lenders.
That's right.
And even if they do, they may not have a same level of access to them. So the system is important. Mm-hmm. I remember we cannot really step back from prospecting. That's number one key. Right. So this job, how I look at it, is 50% prospecting, 50% process. Brilliant. You need to be 100% on both.
Brilliant.
So here we can have an infrastructure. We are not really having a red tape like how you used to have at the bank. Yes. And even right now, I'm building a system around, like I have underwriters and I also have a client care coordinator. Mm-hmm. So you cannot do those things at the bank. That's the only thing I missed at the banks. Here you can build a business around what works for you, what works for the clients, what works for the COI. So system is very important as well.
I love the 50% prospecting. I think when people get so busy with deals, they lose the prospecting. My phone's ringing, I'm busy. And
then it
dies down, and it's like, oh, the light bulb went off again. Right?
Then they need to restart again. Need to restart again.
Yeah. What's up? Any thoughts?
I'm really enjoying this.
I thought you were going to jump in when you said the 50-50.
I really like that. I think you broke down a very complicated structure into something really rudimentary. So I think that's an easy way to look at it. You got to spend 50% of the time prospecting, 50% of the time building your process and executing your process, and do it 100% in each. Like really be present. One thing I think that really stood out to me just now is that you're building a business. You're not just a mortgage broker, you're really building a business here, something with some legacy behind it, which is, I think, something that's lacking for our banking days.
Yeah.
Which I think you've understood. You've taken it and now you're pushing forward to say, I'm really building a business here, and I'm going to build it in a way where it could sustain if I want to take away my family for a few weeks and, you know, go to Portugal or wherever the case may be. Of course, you're still the face, you still need to be around, but you're building a process around an excellent customer journey.
Yeah.
And in turn, building a real sustainable business.
Correct. That, because then the kids are growing. You need to have a system in place. So if not, you are going to be working like 15 hours a day.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But I'm sure we all have to pay the dues in the beginning. Like in the beginning, like I always remember one of the mentor told me, you don't put the deal in the system in the daytime. You put in the nighttime. You're on the road. But
which we've lost a little bit.
I think so
lost
too.
Sight of that a bit.
I think so too.
yeah, I miss those days. You know what I mean?
Me
You're
too,
always
man.
on the phone.
Road Warriors.
road-
That used to be what this channel was called, right?
Coffee shops, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Coffee shops,
exactly.
like
We did lose that a lot. But I think that it's evolving with the ability to do everything virtually.
I agree, and
You know?
I don't think people want to meet as much. It's not even like
yeah.
I think we'd still be willing to go out. And
I would
meet.
love to go out.
I just don't think people are as willing. I think it's just everyone's so busy, they're caught up, they're doing whatever. Just get my deal done, service my clients. I'm happy.
I'm finding applications, and you tell me if you see any different. I know, Paul, you're dealing with this all the time. They're so much more challenging right now.
Oh,
And it's a nature of our economy. It's the nature of, you know, the banks with their sort of policies they have to deal with the regulators. It's just everything is so much harder today. And it's only going to get harder. So through adversity, we get stronger. But I find that a deal today takes
much longer.
like almost twice as long to get done. They're still getting done. So the folks out there saying that, you know, we can't get deals done, it's a lie. You can get deals done. You need to be creative. You need to be resourceful. You need to think outside the box. You need to be able to lean on your peers. And all those resources are there for you. I just find that we're spending a lot more calories per application, taking
Than
away
ever
some time
before.
from prospecting. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? And like, and I'm sorry, just before you go, I used to be able to work all day. I used to wake up at 5:30 in the morning. I'd work in the parking lot of the branch when I was in MMS on my computer because we couldn't log into any other Wi-Fi's. I would wait for the branch to open at like 8:30 or 9. I'd go in. I'd work all day. I'd do prospecting. I'd work like till 2, 3 in the morning and repeat again. I did that for like 4 or 5 years. After 9 o'clock today, I'm done. I can't. I start really early, but after 9 p.m., I can't even look at a computer. My brain's melting.
Yeah, it's burned out.
You know?
Yeah, it's a burnout.
Yeah, every deal's so much more difficult now, for sure. One question that I had for you, Varan, was obviously it made sense why you jumped, but it's always very hard leaving a company or an organization. So for those people that are thinking of leaving a bank that they've been with for 5, 10 years, what advice would you give them? Because you probably see a lot coming to you too. Hey, I'm thinking of joining Varan. I'm at the bank. Oh, it's so hard. I have my benefits. I have been here for a
Pension,
while.
yeah.
My pension. I only have one system. I get referrals from the branch. And this isn't for everybody. And I'm probably similar to you. You need to come when you're ready, because the worst thing is bringing someone that's scared or not ready to make the jump. And someone will always have fear. But what advice would you give someone that's maybe on the fence or thinking of coming in, or maybe what advice do you give them when they come see you as well?
Yeah. So when I left the bank, everyone thought I was crazy. 2016, I was the number 1 sales manager in the country.
Wow.
And everything was going great. They're like, why are you leaving the bank? And everyone was just kind of waiting to see how this guy going to survive.
That's right.
Then the whole crew of CIBC became a brokers. So pretty much I was the first one to kind of leave the bank, at least from CIBC perspective, to become a broker, agent. I think if you're going to become an agent, forget about the volume. I always hear from the MMS, I funded 100 million, I funded 200 million. Drill down your book of business and see what's the source of the business. If you're 60%, 70% coming from branch and FAs and financial planners and wealth and all those things, you are not cut to be a broker.
No, you're not.
Just stay where you are.
Bingo.
So your volumes mean nothing. So let's not talk about the volume. Really drill it down and be truth to yourself.
That's right.
When someone comes and says, I funded 100 million, I want to become an agent. I'm like, you know what? Do me a favor. Go sit down and write down where did you get the 100 million from.
I love that.
Then if you think at least 50% come from your COIs, then let's talk.
Come talk to me.
Then come talk to me.
Couldn't agree more.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
Self-sourced.
Self-sourced.
Yeah.
It's all self-sourced.
If you are not rolling up the sleeves to hunt for the business and hustle for it, stay at the bank.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a bunch of folks that come over, like you said, that really struggled at the beginning, and they were doing great volume. But you're right, it was coming from the internal
referrals.
Bank's comfortable, you know.
Yeah.
Like phone rings, financial advisors, like high value clients, and all those things comes to the bank, right?
Absolutely.
And they don't want them to leave, so they know them.
That's going to stay within.
You could be a great underwriter putting the deal together to save the relationship with the bank from the referrals, but you're not a hunter. You need to be a hunter.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. No, it's brilliant. I think breaking down the business is really smart, and it's always tough leaving. But I think everyone that's left, there's very few that say, I regret it.
Yeah.
Right.
And the bank's always giving you Kool-Aid, right? You're successful because you are with the brand. And
I drank the Kool-Aid. I'm sure you did
I drank the Kool-Aid as well. And
Dan will tell you, when I was working there, I was probably pouring the Kool-Aid.
Yeah,
I was drinking your Kool-Aid.
Yeah, the green one. Yeah,
I'm the one who was pouring the Kool-Aid as well.
Yeah,
and my boss was pouring the Kool-Aid, and she's a broker too now.
See,
I'll never forget the conversations we had at the bank when it was around, mortgage. Brokering, I'll never forget it. And again, it's a conditioning system, and it's got to be in place. I get it, but like you just mentioned, I haven't heard of a broker unhappy moving over. Like it's such an opportunity if you do the right things and you go in with a positive attitude. I think there's endless opportunities
100%.
In this space, and I think it's only getting better. Every year that we continue to be in it, it's only getting better and better and better and better, and it's incredible.
And if you are not ready to hunt for the business, you are not cut to be an agent. And there are people who went back, and I knew they were going to go back.
Yeah.
Because they were relying on the branches. It depends on some banks are fully branch-fed business.
That's right. Yeah, and I think the broker space is better because of individuals like Varan, and that's why we brought you on. Like since day one, no matter who it is, whether it's me, Dan, Janice, anybody comes up to you, like you give truthful advice. You're willing to pick up the phone, run ideas from, I've reached out to you in other scenarios that, you had more experience in. Hey, well, how did you deal with this? And I think the transparency and being able to help each other goes a long way. Like, you're someone that's probably like us. No one's competition. There's no one's competition. iConnect has business. Clear Trust has been like. There's enough. We don't play in each other's sandbox, and
we have respect. We are professionals. We know when to step in and when not to step into issues, right?
Yeah, which is huge, and I think that's why 50% of Canadians are using this channel now. I think they understand what we do, and it's great. I've loved it, and we're just getting started. But the people that we've met in this channel are simply incredible. A lot of ex-bankers, of course.
More than ever.
Right, more than ever.
Last 5 years, there's a lot of bankers. One day I just sat down and add up all the people who I know left CIBC.
Right.
It's almost a $2 billion worth of business.
Crazy, right?
Yeah. And they're very successful.
But it's like they're graduating to go to the majors, right? Like
big time.
The bank is great, and I think it's great for a lot of people. You can do very, very well. Nothing wrong with it. Some people come talk to me. I say, listen, stay there. You got a great thing going.
I thought I was going to retire at the bank.
So did I.
Yeah. I was so happy and excited, and it was so much fun. And then we just realized that it's time to kind of level up, right, and do the next thing. And then it's been an excellent opportunity.
How I look at the banks is when you're MMS, so sales manager, they want you to grow the business, but they want your hand to be tight. So you're going to really grow if your hands are tight.
It's not that they want your hands to be tight. We have to also give them a little bit of respect that they're a massive conglomerate. They got a lot of reputational risk on the line. They're allowing us to go out there and hunt for business and bring new business into the bank. It's got to be controlled.
Compliance.
It's important. I know it's challenging when you're trying to be on social media and show who you really truly are. But you're also, when working for an institution like that, when you're speaking,
reputation.
You're speaking on their behalf effectively, which is why you sometimes need to say, I'm not speaking on their behalf, and this is my personal opinion. And I understand it, and it's challenging, which is why a place like this exists.
Yeah, I think to further up your point, we always say it. It's coming over this side is like you release the handcuffs.
The golden handcuffs.
The golden handcuffs, because at the bank, you can't go directly to the VP of risk. You got to go through 3 people first. Pricing, you got to go through. So like you said, the red tape, that's where the handcuffs are. You can't go directly to the appraiser. You can't go to the lawyer. Like, you're not controlling the process start to finish. Even as a sales manager, we couldn't, right? So
You have to
from
go
that
to your
stand-
regional director. She has to go
Correct.
to the credit
Correct.
risk or whatever it is.
so from that standpoint, I get it, and then the reputational risk, but they made us who we are. Right?
100%,
So
1000%.
we always
You learn
give
a lot.
credit.
You learned a lot.
We always give credit, and I think the most successful people in this have come from the banks because you learn how to be a professional, how to navigate, how to network, all that type of stuff. But yeah, I think this channel is really changing because of individuals like yourself, and the old school mentality is not really there for a broker. That's just, all those stereotypes of what a broker is. We don't have to dive into, but it wasn't the best narrative, right?
And also, it wasn't client centric. Like, it wasn't client focused.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like old school broker. It was money focused.
But there are always a backup option too, where right now they're starting to become the first option. Brokers, right? Like in the past, you're like, the bank said, no, I got to go to a broker. Now it's like, I'm going to go to a broker because they can go to
And also,
banks.
individual like us coming out and educating the COIs, which is mostly the realtors, right?
That's right.
So, like, if the realtor knows, if I send a deal to me or you can go to TD, Scotia, BMO, and many other lenders. Why am I going on circles?
That's right.
We have three major players in the bank, in the broker
100%.
field.
And-
So
and-
why would you want to waste your time? And they know we have a system in place. They know the customer service to the best.
That's right.
The phone calls are answered.
100%. Yeah.
So I think they are also promoting the consumer. The COS are promoting the consumers to use the brokers than ever before.
Yeah, you're
1000%.
right. Yeah, I mean, this has been a blast. I really appreciate you coming on. I don't know if there's any
100%.
other questions, but
I learned a ton today.
yeah, this was great.
50-50, 100-100.
There you go.
I love it. Thank you, Varan. Maybe
Thanks.
you'll have us on yours one day.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Your unnamed podcast.
Once it's named.
Once it's named. Once it's named.
Thank you, Varan.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Dan.